right, tax warriors, I wanted to go over these Section 530A Trump accounts because we may have things to do with them on the 2025 tax returns. They had escaped my notice until recently. Somebody mentioned it to me, and I went looking and found lots of information, and now I need to share it with you so that we're all on the same page and so we can answer our clients' questions as they come up. So let me go over the very basics of what a Section 530A Trump account is. It is somewhat like a Roth IRA that you can open for your child. There are some key differences that we're not going to get into, but it operates somewhat like that, at least tax-wise. There's no there's no tax deduction for contributions, but there's no tax on withdrawals, and you don't have to have earned income to make the contribution to it. All right, so those are the ways that it's like a Roth, is its tax treatment. But there are some other differences. Beyond the scope here, we're not going to get into all that. You can only have one of these accounts per child, and so unlike say a 529 account where each parent can open one for the child can only have one of these Section 530A Trump accounts. Keep that in mind. And so for this year, that child must be born after December 31st, 2008. So in order to open one in 2026, that child has to be under the age of 18. And for children who are born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028, they are eligible to participate in what they're calling the pilot program contribution, which is a $1,000 free money from the U.S. Treasury into the child's account. And so I think many people will want the account because of that free $1,000 they're supposed to be getting in there. Okay. The reason we have to talk about it is because people can elect to open a Trump account and participate in this pilot program contribution for their child on their tax return now. And so we need to know how that's done. So let's talk about who can open the account. The instructions for the form 4547, that's the form number. The instructions for that form say, in order, these people, a legal guardian can, assuming there's no legal guardian, which I think is going to be mostly the case for our clients, it'll be the parent. So I would anticipate almost always it will be the parent. But if there is no parent or legal guardian appointed, then an older sibling can do it. And if there is no parent, legal guardian, or older sibling, then a grandparent could also open this account. Now remember, there can only be one, and the person opening that account will be known as the authorized individual. That person can go in and make investment decisions on that account. So that's kind of an important, responsible position. My concern is that we will have divorced parents who haven't determined who's going to be the authorized individual for their child's Trump account, and we may have some conflict there that we end up in the middle of. So we're just going to have to tell people, hey, work that out and let us know how you want to handle that going forward. They'll be the authorized individual until that child turns 18 unless they make other arrangements. So you can transfer the authorized individualness, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, about the pilot program. Must be born after December 31st, 2024, and before, of course, a date that has not come yet. So the key here is that children born in 2026 can be qualified, and that's weird for us because children born in 2026 wouldn't ordinarily show up on a 2025 tax return, but the election can be made for that child on the 2025 tax return. Assuming that this child will be anticipated, that's what the instruction says, to be the qualifying child of the authorized individual on that authorized individual's tax return. So children born this year could participate. Pub 501, which I have yet to crack open, has more details because I've only read the instructions for Form 4547. So Maria and I spent quite a bit of time discussing how deep do we dive on the organizer asking questions, and we decided to keep it kind of minimal. So some people might not get information that they could use, such as we are not asking people, did you have a child born in 2026 that you would like to open a Trump account for? We're not going to ask that question. If people ask us, hey, can I elect for a child born in 2026 with this tax return? The answer is yes, they can, but we're not asking that on the organizer because the organizer, one, has already gone out to like over 400 people, and we didn't want to make it more complicated than in trying to make sure we caught everything. So we just kept it to a couple of additional questions on the organizer to ask people if they wanted to elect participation in the Trump accounts. Let's go take a look at Drake now and see how Drake is handling this for us. Okay, so here we are in Drake. I'm actually on Danny Allen, my daughter-in-law's tax return from last year, or for this year, but I've opened it. It's only got information from last year. And you go to the Dependents tab, and those of you, I never use that interim screen because you always have to enter additional data. I don't know why they provide it. If you have used Drake before, you may notice something new, right? It used to be just 2 tabs here, and now there are 3. Yep, 4547 is right here in the Dependents section. If we go here, it doesn't want me to leave the screen because it wants those fields filled in, but I can just cancel that. All right, so now we're on this 4547 Trump account election. Note you have to choose whether it's the taxpayer or a spouse opening the account. That will label them as the authorized person, so fill that out. If the spouse says yes and make me the authorized person, then we have to select the spouse. Otherwise, I believe it will default to the taxpayer. And then if they qualify, right, so that's what you have to look at. Does the child qualify to open the Trump account? Then you could just click that box. And if they want to participate in the pilot program contribution, which I assume they will, if the child is qualified, then you would select that. Ordinarily, that's all you're going to have to do. There's some additional things if you fall into those caveats where, like, well, this child's not on this taxpayer's tax return, but they're still able to elect them, right? One of those weird kind of niche things that could happen, absolutely could happen, and probably will to 1 or 2 of us this year. We'll get a client with those situations. You'll have to fill out the rest of it, but ordinarily you probably will just have to check one or both of these boxes. Okay, well, that's all I have for you. We've made some changes to the organizer. As I said, I'm going to record a video that we're going to post to the organizer in the next couple of days. I don't think I will get it out for a few days yet, but I do want to get it up there as soon as possible because clients are starting to fill out their organizers. So we wanted to have that information so as to head off as many questions as possible. Okay, let the games begin. Thanks for watching.